For those of you guys who may know me or may not know me, again, my name is Chanel Jones. I am honored to perform and do a little bit of entertainment for you guys. I got asked by the former Miss Navajo Nation now, who is about to crown the next Miss Navajo. So I just want to again thank her for reaching out to me and inviting me to perform for you guys. So I want to congratulate the contestants and congratulate you guys for, all the hard work that you're putting in. And you guys are strong, independent Navajo women. And I condemn you guys for everything that you guys are doing and everything that you guys are working toward. My best wishes to you, not just in the contest, but, with your lives, your personal lives. And some of you guys may be going to school. Some of you guys may be working. So you guys are dedicating a lot of your time for this, and you guys are going to be role models, and that's what you guys are doing now. So my best wishes to you guys again, and let me explain the song that I'm going to sing. So I do a lot of entertainment across the Navajo reservation at a bunch of schools and a lot of events that go on. And every time I sing, it's always good. I like to make people feel good. I like to make them smile. I like to make them laugh, and through music. And so this song talks about a young boy and a young girl going far in life. I know many of the Navajo reservations, they started school, and all these kids are, they're going back. And so I just want to give them a blessing, and I composed this song. And so I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, let's get to it.
Sen si se go ye dang ashma sa ne ya behna ish kahat go wo ho ne manga se ya biye pista se ke go wo dag et ya behna sha go wo shit ya has ke Shia jene hil tsanga ne ho shoko nana do shitsu hui shema sane ashle shema sane ashle hoya hey yanga nashko hina sto adon keje in sing se eta ta hot in chitsu hui shema sane ashle shema sane ashle hoya hey yanga ne yo hoya hey yanga tka tinen de sto bena jay Sayin hado na bihin ahdo bena jay ayo ne je hola do na yang do shitsu shema sana ashle shema sana ashle hoya hey yang ne yo hoya hey yang dihin ayo ni biaje ent nalaje kala bk shitsu shema sana ashle shema sana ashle hoya hey yang beinan stin ge ha shla beyone shia ha shema sana ashle shema sana ashle hoya hey yang ayonin schnee beninanga ande schnee shitsu shema sana ashle shema sana ashle hoya hey yang ne yo hoya hey yang ne yo hoya hey yang
Benebiyat in Hidini Dolito, Sitano Shoni, Hadat not Edo, Adol Cheda Dosia Sati, Adoshin Hitayana, the hot Edon Hitata Hojoni, Quashato Naso, Qua Edis, Iloqua Ohodish Ash, Shahat Nise, Benahos, Benaho, Enaho, a Kate Nahane. We're gonna be doing our contemporary skills and talent competition this morning for our Miss Navajo Nation. Miss Navajo Kwan Yadeji Higi. They'll be performing their contemporary skills and talent competition. And I'd like to say greetings to our social media audience also out there. I'd like to say good morning, Yate. And around the world, I like to say good morning, good afternoon, and probably good evening out there. We're going to get ready to start our contemporary skills event and talent for our Miss Navajo Nation competition this morning. Just a little housekeeping here. If you all can put your phone on silence, we appreciate it. And le ajabachos khangi e nda case e da ya da do case e gut edolis. Ado to shahido as nozi oto if you want to be excused for restrooms, the restrooms are located right on the east side of this sports center. E gut ela ya il teheto e kwa sani jo ya na alta ado khujiko e ya da in case of emergency, we'll exit through the exit doors and meet out in the parking lot. We have our judges, Judge 1, 2, and 3. But this morning, I'd like to we're going to open our event here with a prayer. Our grandmas and grandpas always start everything, any event, any of importance of events with a prayer. Let us pray. Ahela digin bohol nihi digin jopai digin stanai nili. Ahela ko sa anagay bik ahojon to tidel nehi sa anagay bik ahojon don den neshi ko de ahojon do lilot eh. Khaat ato shandat ato enat ato na hokosto. Ni do ya asnite nilche digin nilche jopai nilche yot eh. Digino kon lo ta kui jido ta kui tle kude e yaha e anna khapek ta sheak e khina hotle nilchel ana nili bije kude e ya e shishnido belaho hol jido ak e bije kodina bich ta nadi kha leniki kude ni he kwa no kha tne ni hit neniki no kha tselkeo no ka na pa hi the ne ni tlin leniki khode the ne ni the nen leniki khwagi ya in kha jin pa to lis khode ni je bidil chi to lis ni hin se kes bidil chi to lis khode na khan ne hin leniki ne be yo ne be khatal ana ot lis leniki khode ben hi dil chi to lis ben hi na hatsun sa to lis ben hi ke chet le to lis dit oya so the leni di bin be je long khode ya Kwa e yaha nikhe e leniki kode ya yena da atle leniki asado na kido tha kwa kwa gin kinasna da alle to le kode na be kho de na be e leniki nyede je e di kwa n khabel kon lo de le be kelet ado be sit ad ne laje be ostene laje be je da nat edo ben sikis laje joy kwa gi ya kode o ish Adon the ya khod bit na ite kit and aha dot ze bit is bit khahadet and lenigi na khabet khon lo do le yat e hoba insin do len jeno ba insin do le ye khakholigo ye chebetska o ye chebetzilo zda khoje yin zelo chot aya e nakabik na hodisha ti bin bigi khode ado nikhedo lo khode amado janitle masando achedo anallen khode ye kwa e nikha weda alle lenigi bikena hay khaisli edo lo khode hot o benashni dolil ado khoden khiten lenigi kwa ni kholon lenigi do nakha khato lenigi khode kwa 74th Annual Navajo Nation Fair, jo kwagi e banda adil le e de kwagi lonkon yel hon lodole khode ni cha hon lodole do yat e hon jeno e ya e lenigi be hinada hel maz dole yat o e ya e yan ne sil dole thone sil dole ba hin shi ta hon nilde ba hin shi de tsande khode ta hon nil si do khode nal to shinde Benekachidika, Benekachini Kaidoli, Yat Ehodani Katoli, Anihitahi Kahi, the Moli in Jabai, hard auto shandet auto and not auto now, Costo, says not Jenso, the Gosli, the Bens of the Laudi, the Jol E, Biedo in the Kaji, according to Wajana Slay, Dolil, Wajana Slay, Wajana Slay, Dolil, Wajana Slay. Thank you for your respectful moment here for spiritual prayer. Larry Jackson Jr. Nanisht Ajinshle, Hanagani Bashin, Topa Hadashichedo, Turicini Dashanale, could oil the Nanishle Shachine, Yatubajna Aje, a could oil a danle. I don't know how city, New Mexico, the A Nasha. I don't the A Quaggy a master of ceremony, a big aho, a delito in aho gatolish. She don't need even not a quaggy a slitolish. I'll be your master of ceremony this morning, this afternoon, and all the way throughout the Miss Navajo pageant. I'd like to acknowledge our judges here. I'd like to introduce our judges. Once I name them, they can introduce themselves. Judge number 1, Aaron Benali.
Hello, mic check. Yat Eshik Edosh in the Esha Aaron Benali in a share, Sandra Kinanish, Nash Ejitabahan Bashichin, Sitnajani Edashe Ado, Sensakani Dashanale, with Adanas and Nishla, Siato de Nasha Ado, Lichisa and Dashalan. I'm a wife, a mother, I'm also an Army veteran. I served in Operation Enduring Freedom as well as Operation Guardian Support. I work as a life coach for young Navajo women, as well as working on my nonprofit organization. Lastly, I would like to thank you, Niagara, for representing your family, your community, and our nation in a beautiful way.
All right, we'll move on to our judge number 2, Denise Homer.
Thank you, Larry. As Larry said, my name is Denise Homer. I'm a Mojave member of the Colorado River Indian Tribes at Parker, Arizona, and I specify Mojave member because at Colorado River, we have 4 tribes that make up our reservation: the Mojave, the Chemehuevi, the Hopi, and Navajo. So I'm happy to be here, happy to be a part of this great pageant that's been going on for, 70 years now, where I'm also the executive director of the Miss Indian Arizona Scholarship Program, and we've been going on for 61 years this year. Our pageant is held the second week in October, and this year we have 2 Navajo girls who will be participating with us, so we invite you all to come and join us down in Chandler, Arizona, where we have our pageant. I would also like to recognize 2 girls, I think there's 2 of them here, who have been Miss Indian Arizonas, who are Navajo. My escort, Sweetie Cody, she was Miss Indian Arizona. She was also Miss Southwest Navajo, I believe. And then, of course, your reigning Miss Navajo, sitting right here with me. Good to see you again, Niagara. She was Miss Indian Arizona about, 4 years ago? So we're happy to see her here. And also, I don't know if she's here. I don't see her. But Shandine, is she Shandine? Oh, there you are. Shandine Parrish was also Miss Indian Arizona. So there were 9 other girls from Navajo that have been Miss Indian Arizonas. But I only remember one other name, and that was Dolly Madison, Dr. Dolly Madison. These were back in the day, and I'm 89 years old next week, so forgive me for not remembering everybody's name. But I'm really happy to be here, and we'll do the best we can in judging. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Denise. Judge number 3, Rodina Jordan DeHosey.
Yad beneshik doshden she Rodina Jordan DeHosey Yanishia. Todik onjen inchle ashihe bashichin bit ahni dashiche do hashklishni dashinella. Tierch int ed ayeside nasha. Akon de hosto hahozo de shogan ne de qua ni hidene ba nashnish alto. First things first, Navajo Nation region, banashnish. The state of Arizona, the Early Childhood Health and Education Board at Amanishli do Ina Ash Inigi, Wyatt DeHosey Willia, Quit Godina Astanan and Schle.
I'd like to acknowledge our Hinat ani kwan khas khayoshi la at ela ako adlaja tasatahigi jo a first lady jo a kwagin hitolola Miss Nez, first lady. Taba kita khatke. Ado our second lady is do Miss Dottie Lizer Ado. Ado koden ye the nebich a kek an kwagi in ye lotigi kwagi in laha silkero jike yes at tahiki Ado Miss Navajo Niagara Rockbridge. And throughout the event, I'll acknowledge some more dignitaries in our former Miss Navajos. I'd like to see if I could bring up our contestants. Introduction of the contestants. Contestant number 1, Valentina Klitso. Contestant number 2, Gypsy Pete. Contestant number 3, Brianna Davis. These are our contestants that will be competing this morning and performing their contemporary skills and talent competition. So give a round of applause again. If we can have contestant 2 and 3 excuse and introduction. I'm sorry. Let's introduce ourselves here.
Valentina Kutsa Torich English but Ahi Bashis Chin, Tor Haneta Shiche, Eshin Tashiname, Jislijin Brata in Asha, Tor Banahod Yegi, Cased,
Hello and good morning, my friends and relatives, and for all of you watching online. I am of the Red House clan, born first out of the Red Street clan. My maternal grandfathers are of the Covered Arms clan, and my paternal grandfathers are of the Coyote Pass clan. My name is Gypsy Shannon Pete. I am originally from Rock Point, Arizona, and I am running for the Miss Navajo Nation pageant. Thank you. Nana Yat Ebene, good morning. I'm of the Coyote Pass clan, born for the Red Cheek people. My maternal grandparents are of the Big Water clan. My paternal grandparents are of the Reed people. I come from Many Farms, Arizona. My name is Brianna Shaylin Davis, and I am currently competing in the Miss Navajo Nation pageant as contestant number 3.
Okay, this morning's event here, the Contemporary Skills and Talent, it's going to be, we'll try to keep it in order. The ladies here, they're gonna demonstrate here and talk about their contemporary skills. And then we're gonna have the evening gown also being performed, and then a video. So are you so bear with us. So we'll go ahead and excuse contestant. Our contestant number 1, she will be sharing the importance of proper hoof carrying. Demonstrate how to take off horseshoes and the tools that are used across the Navajo Nation. We use horse ranching, rodeo competition, and leisure riding. The harder we work our horses, the more care is needed to prevent injuries. A healthy hoof is the best way to keep a horse at its top performance. The feet are the foundation of the horse. Once problems occur in the feet, horses will be off balance and have limited movement, resulting in behavior swings and an overall uncomfortable ride. If we can have contestant number 1, Valentina Klitzel, make her way up to the stage.
Good morning, Yate. I'm Valentina Klitzel, and I welcome you all here, judges, dignitaries, friends, and family. I'll be demonstrating how to take off a horseshoe off of your hoof and also showing some of the tools that I have in my bucket. All right, so the horse's hoof is the most vital and important part of the horse. No hoof, no horse is a motto that I like to go by. Without the hoof, you can't walk. Even as a person, you can't walk. You can't run, you can't perform. All you can do is sit, you want to lay down, and the horse is the same way. The horse was given to us by the sun, and it was a gift. So we have to take care of our horses. And here is a diagram that I have of the horse structure on the bottom of the soil, with courtesy to the University of Missouri for giving me permission to utilize their images. So here we have the toe, the quarter, and the heel. So this is the terms that we use to give a location on where we are working on the horse's hoof. And some of the tools that I have here pictured are in my bucket. So here I have the hoof knife and also the type of nippers I use. Just be careful with these nippers. These are pull-off nippers and these are toe nippers. Once these go dull, you're gonna have to buy a whole new set. In this industry, these tools are expensive. These tools that you see here are valued at least about $1,500 in this bucket. So some of these tools that we are going to use today are the rasp, the clinch cutters, and also the hoof pick. And here that I use is the hoof jack, and that's what I use to save my back. Because horses' hooves are heavy, and once they lean into you, you're going to be like this all day, and you're going to be using your back and a lot of your legs here. So this will really save your back if you're working on a lot of horses. So here I have a model that I made of a horse hoof, and the importance of using proper hoof care is once you have a horse shoed, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks until you have to shoe it again. So here are a few things you have to look out for are loose horseshoes. So once a horseshoe gets loose, it also gets dangerous. Because as you see here, these are very sharp nails that we put into the hoof wall. It's not painful to the horse, but once it comes out and it goes into the sole here, that's a very sensitive area, and that can lead to a lot of damage and lots of visits to the vet. And those vet visits get very expensive, especially here in the rodeo scene. You see Navajos are people with very expensive horses, so we have to take care of those horses, and if we take care of those horses, they'll take care of us. We'll have a comfortable ride, and we'll have great performances, because you have to build a relationship between you and your horse. And a great way to build a relationship with your horse is handling those hooves, picking up your horse's feet at the end of the day, and also cleaning out their hooves before every ride and after every ride. And that's just a preventative measure, so you can see firsthand if there's any injuries, because rocks like to get stuck in there. So as we see in this hoof, we have a bunch of rocks in here, and what I like to use here is the hoof pick. So what you like to do here is when it's attached to the horse, we're going to put it in between your legs here, and then the first thing you're going to do is clean it out, okay? We're going to clean out all this dirt, and I'll put it here on the hoof jack. Oh. So we'll clean it out, and then we'll get out all this dirt. Oh. Clean it out real good, and then from here, I'll get my pullers that we use to pull off the hoof, and then you'll start from the heel here, and you'll push it forward. So what we do here, push it forward on one side and also push it forward on the other, and then make your way down. And eventually hold it here so you don't drop it. And then that's how you take off a horseshoe off of your horse. So just always remember to take care of your horse's hooves. No hoof, no horse is my motto. Okay.
Yeah. As she leaves the stage, she'll be getting ready her evening gown. So, and then there'll be a entertainment video also. But while we're getting her tools off the stage here, we'll have our contestant number 2 bring up hers momentarily though. So ayo a hidden shnanahano a qua a other ha katolis ako a shade quab nakam bahonosendolis. Just bear with us, audience out there in social media, that our contemporary skills performance, the tools and everything, the presentation, they'll be getting it off stage, and then our next contestant's presentation will be coming on stage here. So I don't know.
Coyote Pass Clan. This morning I would like to share with you my knowledge of the Diné original law structure. The Diné original law structure can be found in the Navajo Nation Code under Title I, Section 206. So before we begin and learn about our 4 laws, we first need to learn what and who. At the very top, we have our Diné, our people, which is everyone here, everyone online, and myself. And from our people, we have our Diné Anis. You may not know it, but you may be sitting next to the next Navajo Nation president, the vice president, or your next council delegate. The many tasks for our Diné Anis is Ani, making laws for our Navajo people. These laws ensure that we preserve the Navajo language, we learn our culture, we learn who we are and where we come from to stand that we are resilient. The first law that we have here is the Betande Behazani, the Diné traditional law. Diné traditional law allows the rights and the freedom for our Navajo people to vote for their own leaders. On November 8, 2022, our Navajo people will be traveling home to their home chapters to vote for one president and Navajo Nation vice president, which will run the Navajo Nation for the next 4 years. The second law that we have is the Diné Betande Behazani, Diné customary law. Diné customary law recognizes the rights and the freedom for our Navajo people to learn the Navajo language. On June 1st, 1868, the Navajo people, our Navajo leaders, the Nenot Anis, Heki Askadanya, 29 of our young men signed Natosana, which ensured in Article 6 that our language will be taught in our schools, and who knew that the Navajo language would be required on Navajo land today. 29, I believe, is a sacred number to our Navajo people because it was 29 of our first Nenot Anis who signed Natosana, but it was also first 29 of our young brave men who traveled to Camp Pendleton and created an encrypted code which helped win World War II. And I believe that the Navajo language is a world-winning language. The third law we have is Nahastando Yatis Betande Behazani. Our Diné natural law recognizes our 6 sacred mountains. Sisnajene, so zis dog osli, the bensa, zis naotili, dog zis chodin. But it also recognizes our 4 sacred elements of life: earth, water, air, pollen, and earth, air, and pollen. And the Navajo Nation sits on an unlimited amount of natural resources. And for Navajo people to develop in our economic development, we need to protect our unlimited natural resources for Navajo and to build and grow Navajo. Our 4th law we have is the Yendahoka Diné Betande Behazani, which is Diné common law. Diné common law recognizes the motivational guidance for mental healing, spiritual healing, emotional healing, and physical healing. But it also recognizes the rights that we have as Diné people to ensure that we walk this beauty way of life. Ada Dahalia is what I always encourage as this time in hopes of becoming the next Miss Navajo Nation. These laws ensure that we take care of our people. We have traditional medicine that we use to look after ourselves. So please take care of yourself. We have songs and teachings and prayers that we have. Therefore, we can live in a humble way of this thing we call life. But it is also written in our laws. Thank you. Ada Dahalia Shakeh. Thanks.
Yeah. I didn't read this before, but for her contemporary skill, Gypsy performed sharing her knowledge of Navajo fundamental law and how it relates to her platform. Gypsy's goal is to attend and complete law school. Therefore, she is becoming a family law attorney to help Native American communities. Ishi aje agati ahi shahanile ayasthi e aje le adahuint eone e ayasthi dolisi ishi aje yahol nela e bananish ishi e khashil so ishi yilado ya istkha do khashin zache e ya na ost khashin dolis ado khwa the nebkiab khaw e ado danst bitsing ishtiji e shi e yi kha dolwal e shi kut o ye ilala ko ado Quite another naturally. This morning, a contemporary skills and talent competition. We're doing our contemporary skills and talent competition here at the Miss Navajo pageant, a contest. Our contestant number 3, Brianna Shaylin Davis. For her contemporary skill, she will be demonstrating a math lesson plan that she developed with materials to create culturally responsive for the youth. Brianna.
Oh, Nana Yat She Brianna Shaylin Davis Unishia, Maidash Gijni Nishle, Gosche Bushichin, Tutsoni Dashiche, look at the Ned Dashanella, Aga Halana Dan Nasha. So, good morning, everybody. So, for my contemporary skill, I will be walking you through the process of lesson planning. And so, with this, when lesson planning, we always want to start with the end goal in mind. This may include legal things such as the state standards, which educators are required to do within Arizona State classrooms. So with this, our state standards go across many content areas. This includes language arts, math, science, and social studies. So with these content standards, we may map them out. And so mapping them out into a scope and sequence helps educators because these standards, they're a pretty hefty load. And as an educator, it's our job to incorporate those into the classroom so that your child is taking them on for that year and into the next school year. So what that may look like is a scope and sequence. And what that is a major map of the standards. And this may be very well thought out and such throughout the school year. So I'll just move a little closer. So this includes the many state standards for all the content areas and when you want to teach them. This may vary based on your school or your school district. So from that, for this specific lesson, what I decided to do was take a math practice lesson. So the practice, there's a difference between the math content and math practices. So the content is things like how to multiply, how to add. Those are those key content things that they will need for the next grade. But below those things, because all of this is very important, are the math practices. These are those skills that are going to be honed. So the practice that I decided to do, because please keep in mind, this is first grade, is being able to identify shapes based on their amount of vertices and sides. This may sound simple to us now, but only because someone taught us. So please remember that. And so for first grade, so I had that end goal in mind in my lesson plan. And so So furthermore, we have that end goal. Now I'm thinking how. How do I want them to be able to achieve that goal? Because I want them to be able to identify these shapes based on vertices and sides. So now I'm thinking how. So it's not up here, but it's a small sheet in which students can take notes. I believe that first graders, they can be engaged in that way because as educators, we're also demonstrating we're honing their motor skills, their social skills, their hand-to-eye coordination, as well as their cognition. So from that, I would have a small sheet and it has vertices, sides, and things of that nature. So because of that, let me find my thought. Yes, so going from there, I would have maybe a definition on the board, or even these pictures, because visuals are very important, especially for our younger ones. So from these visuals, a vertice where 2 points meet. Try to make it as simple as possible because I'm working with first graders right here. They're getting edgy, they're picking on each other's hair, their clothes, they're talking and whispering all kinds of things. So vertices where 2 points meet. And as you notice, I'm also up here doing lots of hand motions because this is how educators engage students. They get that kinesthetic body movement. So I would have the first graders maybe say, okay, vertices where 2 points meet. Sides,
along the edges. So that way they're engaged, they have visual and body movements. And to further this lesson plan takes it a step further, as you see up here, because it has terms in Dignitary. It has that language integrated into it. So for first grade, I might not introduce all of this immediately. I may model and say them around them, so that way they're getting introduced to the content. And from that, the Nebizad is also very descriptive, as we all know. So to make shapes easier and to include this, we could go with Tagotes Ahe. I would maybe, if I'm a Navajo language teacher, or even just in my own classroom, because we're working with language preservation in these times. So I would say, Ta, what is Ta? And maybe the kiddos getting those bodily movements, show me on your hands, show me on your body. What's Ta? Who knows what Ta is? And they may go like this, and that allows me to be able to assess. So assessing is another key component in lesson planning, because we have the why, what do we want them to know, the how, and also another addition to how is how are they going to demonstrate that they're absorbing this knowledge. So from that, that's a quick assessment. I'm looking at my first graders, and I'm going, what's taught? And I might see some kiddos doing this. I just do a quick scan around the room. Okay, we're good. We can move on from there. And if I need to, because remember, time is very fluid in the classroom, so these things are just going simultaneously. So I could go into further detail and explain that in Navajo, a triangle, go ahead and show me a triangle. They would do so, or maybe even point at it, because some don't like to speak as much. They don't have that social development yet. So tago des ahe, that would mean triangle. So just doing a quick introduction of that, they don't need to explain it right away. They just know it. And so going from there, and then acknowledging that they have that knowledge, and moving so forth, you can take this lesson a step further in going with those shapes and thinking about that and adding in colors. Because in a classroom, you not only have the lesson plan, their social emotional well-being, you have your management. Because I'm working with about maybe 25 to 30 kiddos at the most at one time. And these are all young with their own individual needs. They all have something to share about something at home. So trying to make time for all of that in terms of classroom management, that is what that is. So classroom management in ways to incorporate Dignitary and help them learn some of these concepts, because nothing is too small. You could just learn the colors and the shapes, and that's the knowledge you know. So any type of knowledge is good knowledge. So for example, maybe if I could have my audience or judges in a classroom, I would say, if you're wearing purple, stand up. I'm scanning. I don't think I have any interested first graders. Oh, yeah, you get a sticker. She's getting a star. But things of that nature. And furthermore, because we have some kiddos who are very hands-on. They do things with their grandpa, their masan. They're always on the go. So with that, you can have simple things such as these manipulatives. So going along with the math lesson in terms of shapes, I would have them there and have them form the shapes and tell me how many vertices or sides. And going along with their social skills, what I like to do in the classroom is incorporate a lot of group work. So going with that, their table groups, their partner, they could be working with this. And that gives me the ability to also assess. Because maybe Daniel over here, he's just playing with them. Or maybe he has the vertices and sides mixed up. So from that, I can ask Michaela over here, who I see is forming the correct shapes. And I could say, Michaela, could you please help Daniel? Could you show him where the vertex is and maybe tell him how? So that how and the why is super important education, because you don't want to just write the definition on the board, have them write it. Okay, read that to me. If that happened, I don't know where we would be. I don't think I'd be up here doing this. So, and going along with that is the assessment key. So to conclude, I would like you to please thank an educator because they've gotten you to this point. This could include anyone in a school setting a professional setting, and even at home, because I myself am an older sister. So in that role, I had the responsibility in educating my younger sisters and other younger siblings. So just to do a quick assessment and see if my judges were looking at my board. She gets a sticker. The kui banako. Banako, their sides. The quila. They responded in the neck etche. Nazbas. Chanezgo nazbas. Nazbas. And things in that nature. So please thank an educator and Ahyahat for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, contestant number 3. She did an outstanding job. All of them did an outstanding job for their contemporary skills. Contemporary skills. Yang dahas neto, ya dahal nesali ako. Ishi a banana shidi ido, that's their profession, that's their goals, that's their major, that's their passion in life. Ishi a kut o ya dahal nela. Ako kade yaha evening gown, she a ishi banahos jijdole. So okay. We're going to set the stage here.
Car said that they're going to play video. Car said that they're going to play video.
Okay. Yeah. Before they come up, ishi video. We don't have a screen or all that, but ishi oshi da'il tsandole. We're going to have a little presentation. The video presentation sound, so just bear with us. She Valentina Klitso. She a contemporary dress chosen for this category is flowing dress that sweeps the floor. This full-length gown has a beautiful neckline with a free streaming piece falling down her back. The red color is flowing section on the back is eye-catching. The jewelry are small pieces extending the neck and face for demonstration purposes. The shoes have an evaluated heel to minimize dragging of the dress and to give a taller appearance. Truly a beautiful gown paired with some light pink heels. Round of applause. I believe we have the judges to be questioning. They have their questions ready. Am I correct?
Impromptu questions.
Hello, can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Judge number one.
What is the most important thing parents should teach their children?
To love. I think that learning to love someone and learning to love yourself is one of the most important things to learn, is loving yourself.
Why did you decide to become a contestant in the Miss Navajo Nation contest?
I want to make younger me proud. I want to be someone that younger me wanted to be. And now I'm doing it. I'm a contestant for Miss Navajo.
Thank you.
A child's primary language is learned in the first 5 years of their lives. What are actions Miss Navajo Nation can take to improve language development among young children?
Encouraging individuals to speak the language. It doesn't have to be something huge like having a whole lesson plan. It can be something small. It can be like shalit b'ke, shalit b'tzi, shalit. Just those little words can build a foundation for learning the language and loving to learn the language, because you have to make a connection with the language in order to learn.
All right, contestant number one. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. The ladies have to change, then be ready. And right before they come up, we're going to have a little entertainment segment that we'll be listening to. and then we'll introduce them out to the stage. Contestant number 3, I apologize. Contestant number 2, Gypsy Pete will be coming on stage here. Gypsy is wearing a Chief Joseph Pendleton contemporary dress. The Pendleton dress has gifted to her by her late paternal grandmother, L.B. Pete. When Gypsy sees her dress, she is reminded of her paternal grandparents' home. The vibrant colors and the sunset beam off their home. Gypsy's jewelry has gifted to her by her from her mom and her 16th birthday. On her 16th birthday, Gypsy loves her necklace to be multi-strands. Gypsy is wearing her favorite pair of moccasins. We can have judge number 1 ask her questions.
What is the most important thing parents should teach their children?
There are many important things a parent should teach our children, and one I believe is teaching Dinabazad at a young age. That our teachers, our first teachers, are not in the classrooms. Our first teachers learning our language, but also ensuring that you share love, passion, and support for your children. Because in these trying times, specifically with this hit of the COVID-19 pandemic, we've learned that we have struggles with our mental and our physical, spiritual, and emotional beings. Therefore, we need to bring balance back into ourselves before we can take care of others. Thank you.
What does it mean to you to be a contestant in the Miss Navajo Nation pageant?
What it means to me to run for the 70th annual Miss Navajo Nation pageant is one that I am representing Nahasan Yadikis Do Yoskay Asan, because that is what is on the crown of the Navajo on the crown of the Miss Navajo Nation. But also means to me to give back to our people, to understand that I am a person just like you who has suffered from mental challenges as well, but also wanting to rebuild and come forth and say that we are people, we are one, to encourage our youth that we still have our language and it's still possible to learn our language, and that our language does not need to be taught at an early age, because I myself am still learning the Navajo language, I'm sure as all of you in this room and all of you watching on TV. And for me, it is a great opportunity to show who I am as a Dene woman, but also to share my love and passion for the Dene people.
How would you advocate for budget and funding for the Office of Miss Navajo Nation?
How I would advocate for a budget and funding for the Miss Navajo Nation, because Miss Navajo, to me, is the mother of the Navajo Nation. That Miss Navajo is out for the people. She's traveling across the Navajo Nation to address issues within the 110 chapters on a tribal level as well as a state level, but also on a federal level. And to ensure funding for the Office of Miss Navajo Nation, I will go out to our community members and find what it is the issues that are on Navajo, and to ensure that we find a solution, but we also find different practices to help our Navajo people.
Round of applause. Contestant number 2. Thank you for your patience, bearing with us. bringing our contestants up on stage and then them exiting and then them being ready for their presentations and performance. Ayut kena dat na nahalden ako. Contestant number 3, she a Brianna Shaylin Davis. She is wearing a crushed velvet skirt with brown and gray ribbon, skirt decoration in the Navajo design, complied with kelche moccasin, worn with her professional blazer. This outfit is complete with turquoise and silver jewelry. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have judge number 1.
What is the most important thing parents should teach their children?
I didn't hear the beginning part. Could you please repeat the beginning?
What is the most important thing parents should teach their children?
I love the questions about teaching. The most important thing parents should teach is to be respectful in all aspects, to one another, to each other. I know bullying is a very strong thing within schools, especially to our special needs community and other communities of this sort. So parents should teach their children how to be kind with their words and their actions to people of all ages. This includes staff and their peers, as well as community members and their environment.
What do you think is the reason why more young Navajo ladies don't compete in the contest?
In all full disclosure, I find that most young ladies who don't compete, it is because of the aspect of Dinebazad and speaking the language. I find that a very strong challenge among young women, especially myself, because although I'm not fluent, I try my best to speak it. And that shaming aspect of social media. I know that on social media, there are things such as memes about girls who can't speak the language or who can't make bread and things of that nature. So because of that shaming aspect, I find that a lot of girls are, I don't want to say insecure because they're very powerful, but they don't want to compete or put themselves in the public eye. That's my answer. Thank you.
Many children have experienced trauma in the past few years. What should be done to help address mental health and well-being for children and their families?
In terms of mental health and well-being for our children, we should learn to laugh. I find that that's a very key factor, especially within our classrooms and in our home. Being able to laugh about not situations, but being able to come stronger from that, as well as teach the awareness of taking care of yourself, either spiritually, showing them how to say their prayers, what plants to use, how to say them, and how to conduct themselves in that way. Because spiritually, that can go a long way, and that's teaching our youth how to connect with their culture, and especially in their physical wellness, getting active in your community, and even just talking to one another. That's a way of healing, is getting those emotions out and learning how to speak them that way.
All right, round of applause again. Nana sha shaba kita khatche. We will have a 5-minute entertainment sound here while their contestants are going to get ready for their contemporary talent.
Ja, ik edo shedene. She Chanel Jones in she. Tanzanin nashle. Tohe glini bashichin. Toda chini dashit she. Aro tsotso ni dashinale. Tinle de nasha. For those of you guys who may know me or may not know me, again, my name is Chanel Jones. I am honored to perform and do a little bit of entertainment for you guys. I got asked by the former Miss Navajo Nation now, who is about to crown the next Miss Navajo. So I just want to again thank her for reaching out to me and inviting me to perform for you guys. So I want to congratulate the contestants and congratulate you guys for, you know, all the hard work that you're putting in. And you guys are strong, independent Navajo women. And I condemn you guys for everything that you guys are doing and everything that you guys are working toward. My best wishes to you, not just in the contest, but, you know, with your lives, your personal lives. And some of you guys may be going to school. Some of you guys may be working. So you guys are dedicating a lot of your time for this, and you guys are going to be role models, and that's what you guys are doing now. So my best wishes to you guys again, and let me explain the song that I'm going to sing. So I do a lot of entertainment across the Navajo reservation at a bunch of schools and you know, a lot of events that go on. And every time I sing, it's always good. I like to make people feel good. I like to make them smile. I like to make them laugh, and through music. And so this song talks about a young boy and a young girl going far in life. I know many of the Navajo reservations, they started school, and all these kids are, you know, they're going back. And so I just want to give them a blessing, and I composed this song. And so I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, let's get to it.
Check, mic check, mic check. The nebich a can't, nabe hobich a can't. Kwashaba hida katke, Miss Niagara Rock Bridge. Ishit as iso kodo yang hich hadot zito e kwatan na hadot.
Yad ebene conco en haso kegi, conshik eno lini, a het lani hidini dolel. Kodo ya ni desin. She ya Niagara Rock Bridge egin she kia ani ein shli dosh ganzo e bashes chin na kidene e dashet she to hana e dashanale do she ya na kidemil daba an na din la I hagi do na kidemil daba an na din na ki hagi de nebech e ken shle in late salana telaga I aha wol yede on shike a konde be ek it ba ahot zana e ade on na shalto ade ishnal ke dahat Ado enda ya shamado shajel to holo lejes ke shaje Gary Rockbridge wol ye do shama Deborah Rockbridge wol ye Ado betreje egi di tra go shana she holo do atlas to the she holo in lejes atlo ako tau ya jake nishle dot da he en sagon hidini do lel Di ikut out atla ana khajin na khat khadiyado na khayashtio ikut out shananesh ishla aben sogit out ako bashil hojadot da ba hinsen do het lan hidini do leshik noslini benachin ya na janago ko the nebazad wal yehegi the neb ol ilte the ne be nasko net nijin hidasto le ligi kodo be sezon akot au ya be yashtio has twido sani alchina adat ehigi but hanas ziko kot au ben nachin shananish ishla nasko do les ben nachit ya ado and da kon ya jaken dat ehigi ba hujoni gi kon the nebach can't yende jehigi shdeje da bedishno na jonago ya kon Neshe de leto da ba hinsen ado and da kon yaha kon ni office of Miss Navajo Nation linigi esto Carletta Benali shanat ani in law ni program supervisor al kon ya Benanish la alto da ba hinsen ko ya contemporary skills and talent competition wal yehegi coordinator in law akot da hehen tago lani hidini do le ado and da coaching ya abelaganik etchigo alto ni hadeste Good morning, my family and relatives from across our great Navajo Nation and those who are tuning in here from the World Wide Web. It is an amazing time to be gathered here today in celebration of welcoming a new Miss Navajo Nation tomorrow, actually. And so this is something that we are all excited about. And can we get a little bit more energy? We're going to have a new Miss Navajo Nation. So I know that we are all excited that the fair is happening and that we're able to come back together again. One thing that I always like to say is that, I would not be who I am today were it not for my parents who raised me to be the young woman that I am today. They're the ones who instilled the knowledge and the strength within me to carry this responsibility of being the goodwill ambassador of our Navajo Nation and our people. And so I just like to say tago to my mom and my dad and of course my brothers as well. I'm the only girl, so that should kind of tell you something. And one thing about being Miss Navajo Nation that was kind of mentioned on stage by the contestants is that you are your nation's mother, you are the nation's grandmother. Whatever it is that your people need in time is who you are. And I believe that our former Miss Navajo Nation, Shandine Parrish, really exemplified that and stood beside us throughout this entire pandemic, as well as our leaders and our president, our vice president, our first and second lady, and of course our other two branch chiefs. And so, and all of you here that are gathered here today, all of us did our part in really maintaining and being an example for not only Indian country within our nation, but all across the United States. And that's why we're gathered, here today in celebration of welcoming a renewal and welcoming back our people again. And my reign has really been a significant one in terms of being a reflection of that. When I was crowned Miss Navajo Nation, placed upon me was a crown that you see here today, representing an era of rejuvenation, but also signifying that Miss Navajo Nation, although you cannot see it red on the crown, is inscribed inside. And the reason why it is made this way is because the teachings and stories of our people come first before you are acknowledged as the title of Miss Navajo Nation. And Miss Navajo Nation is always kind, she's always humble, she's always knowledgeable and carrying that forward for our people and the teachings. And I believe that is something these young women are exemplifying here today, the essence and characteristics of Yolka Esa, Sana Tlehe Nashe Esa, and all of our incredible female holy deities who were really the first leaders of our people and who allowed us to be where we are today. And so in closing, I would just like to say thank you to Mr. Larry Jackson, who is our MC here today, and our wonderful judges as well. And then, of course, the families and the relatives and the loved ones of our contestants this year. And they have really been a strong support system throughout this entire week, being here, taking care of their kids in terms of picking up their items and things of that nature. Something that a lot of individuals don't know is that our young ladies cannot have a phone with them throughout the whole competition. So they have no connection to the outside world, and they are away from their parents and their loved ones this entire week. So it truly is a test of who they are, as strong as they are mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It tests the whole woman as a whole, as a Dinesa. And so that is something that these women have continuously showcased us as the Office of Miss Navajo Nation, but not only that, all of you who are here watching. And it's because of your support and really your attendance here today that they feel your energy, that they're able to keep moving forward and being able to really take in all it is that is happening here today. Because you only get to be a Miss Navajo Nation contestant, that feeling one time, and then you only get to feel it when you become Miss Navajo Nation. And then afterwards, I'll figure that out. I haven't gone after just yet, so we're still working on that part. But, in closing, really, I just want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for allowing me this great honor to represent our people for an entire year. I worked a lot with a lot of different entities and departments and programs in promoting the preservation and revitalization of our language and culture, so that may continue to move forward. And it is a great honor that we have here today too as well. Miss Indian Arizona, Elise Marietta, if you could please stand. It was a couple years ago that I vied for the title of Miss Indian Arizona, and I was able to achieve that great honor as well. And she represents the 22 tribal nations in the state of Arizona. And it is a great honor to have her here with us today, as well as the executive director. So I would like to invite you all out tomorrow at 7 p.m. The coronation will be taking place here in the Window Rock Sports Center. As you can see, we do have some limited seating. So if you would like to attend the coronation of the 70th annual Miss Navajo Nation pageant, please come here a little bit earlier so you can get a seating. The first row is designated for our dignitaries. Just please keep that in mind. And then we also, again, like to say thank you to all the families and virtually those who are watching who cannot be with us in person. Continue to stay safe and continue to stay strong. So, ahiahet.
Ahiahet nabe hobich eke, the nebich eke, Miss Niagara Rockbridge, Shabakinada Katke. You are doing an outstanding job. Job well done. In Quagi, in Hitchahensi, just your appearance, your beautiful jewelry, moccasins, everything, your attire and your crown, your appearance, your conductance, everything. The way you express yourself and the way you conduct yourself. The neck at your yet hit the so, when a young lady like you, a beautiful lady, talks, it seems like we get calm. I don't know, Edon the Hyacinth, and the Hanasan all your teachings, all your expression, all your discipline, all your love and your compassion. Quagi at the Nelsale, Hadit Edo ye Stanle. Jononaha la Saliqua, now before the Kay of a cow, late the Henley Cloje. Then high yet a heart zis a little, but in John's a lay, a she baby Kayana, the hot Italy, could Italy. Shabakinada cut ye, Miss Navajo. All right, our contestants already here. Contemporary talent, she able to just, she could a contestant number 1, Miss Valentina Klitso. Today for our contemporary talent. Round of applause. Contemporary talent. She will be playing an alto saxophone. The alto saxophone is from a wind instrument family. It's a soft tone and sometimes loud squeak. The saxophone is truly a unique instrument. It has been a wonderful experience learning to play and hope to continue my musical journey. The song I will be playing today is Fly Me to the Moon, originally titled In Other Words by Bart Howard. It is usually played with 3 beats per measure, but this arrangement is with 4 beats per measure. I
hope you guys enjoy it.
Is she the alto saxophone? Very interesting instrument there. The songs, look at the songs. All right, I'd like to introduce our contestant number 2, Gypsy Shannon Pete. Gypsy will provide a brief overview of the violin, right?
Viola.
The overview will include the history of the viola, identifying the different strings and sounds, tuning a viola, reading music, caring for a viola, and her personal experience learning the viola. Gypsy will play 1 to 2 short pieces on her viola. Gypsy learned to play the viola in high school. Playing the viola brings her joy and is always learning new pieces.
Do I not stand up? Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I am of the Red House clan, born first out of the Red Street clan. My maternal grandfathers are the Within His Covers clan, and my paternal grandfathers are of the Coyote Pass clan. My name is Gypsy Shannon P. I'm originally from Rock Point, Arizona. This morning, I will be sharing with you my brief knowledge of the viola. This here is a viola, which is not a violin, but a violin is actually a bit smaller than a viola. The top of the viola you see here is a scroll. These 4 knobs here are the pegs, which is one of the 2 ways to help tune the viola. In the center here, we have the peg box, which holds all of our 4 strings. In the back of the viola, we have the neck. But in the front, in this black mark here, we have the fingerboard where you play. There are 4 strings on the viola: the A string, the D string, the G, and the C. And as you come further down, we have a bridge, and here we see 4 circular fine tuners, which is the second way to help tune the viola. And this narrow part here is the tail end, and this here is a chin rest. I find music to be one of the healing ways that have helped me overcome COVID-19. Music in general is for everyone, for our grandparents, for our mothers, for our fathers, for our siblings, for our preteens, our children, and also our babies. One of the favorite ways that I like to find music is that music brings me joy. It brings me happiness, and it helps calm me. But it also can help calm babies. For my favorite lullaby used to be Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, which I will play a very short piece.
The gifted the Dineh people, the Nebazad.
Oh.
Stand in front of the mic.
Okay.
Okay, can you hold it? It's right here, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I will start again. One of the many ways that music helps everyone, and again, as I mentioned, that it helps me overcoming COVID-19. Music has started a passion for me when I was a junior at Window Rock High School. I began and I entered the beginning of viola class, which was instructed at the time by Mr. Emmanuel Lalunio. Music for me has been important because it helps me find happiness, it brings me peace, and it makes me feel very rewarding that I get to learn new songs. Music, again, is for everyone. For me, my range of music ranges from all across different genres, from Earth, Wind, and Fire, to Stevie Wonder, to BTS, to George Strait, and to Elvis. Please find something that helps you bring passion and joy into your life. For me, which is learning our Navajo language, but also learning a new instrument. And now I will be playing my last and final piece for you. Thank you. Dada Halia.
Mic check, mic check. Very unique instrument. Viola, Yolela, is not called a violin, okay? I'm learning also here up here. Ishile, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Is that the right? Name that tune. Very good, very good. Round of applause again for the young lady. All right. I sing that song when my Dallas Cowboys going to play. Yeah. While we're waiting for the contestant number 3 here, I'd like to acknowledge, introduce Crystalline Curley, our former Miss Navajo Nation 2011-2012. She was right here. Oh, she left. Okay. And then do we have any other royalties here? Please stand up, royalties. Over here, though. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Our princesses, our royalties. It's good to see young ladies dressed up the way that you are and to have a crown. Yung doyat en hitene betau ashi betau khaiki betau ghaniki en hityat eto ehe. We wish you good luck and wish you the best. And you're here at the right time, at the right place, going in the right direction. And then you'll probably be here throughout the Navajo Nation Fair, maybe in the parade float. You have that respect. Sanan Joni yat egi galo ban saha case do yat eho yabich yajilti. So I could lako. All right, contestant number 3, Brianna Davis. Exikuran Khana Atletolish. For her contemporary talent, she will be demonstrating her public speaking abilities and talking about the female deities. Go ahead, Brianna.
Oh, yeah. So, good morning again. I wanted to go ahead and share the story about Yoskeyasa, our white shawl woman. For those who don't know, she is one of our major Diné matriarchs. She is the one who came before all of us, our first females. And the way that she came to be is she was a gift from the holy ones, from our holy people, to a group of aimless people who didn't have any of these types of teachings just yet. But one day, on a misty morning, the holy ones placed her on top of a mountain. And the people down here, they're just going about their business. They're doing what they do. And then all of a sudden, they hear that baby up there crying. And they're just looking at each other because they don't know what that sound is. That's something they haven't really heard. And they don't know where it's coming from because it's not from their area. So they send someone to track it. And eventually, they find that there's a baby on top of that sacred mountain. And on top of that mountain, they go and they retrieve her. And from that, we had the first cradle board to be made. And today, the cradle board, it still has a piece on the left side, my left, has a piece of that white shell stone to remember her in that way. And moving forward with her life, when she came to those people, she started to grow. She started to change from a baby to a girl, then to a young lady, then to an elder. And in that way, and from that, the way that she carried herself with those people is how us young ladies carry ourselves today. She lived an exemplary life as a Diné woman in how she dressed, how she presented, and how she cared for those people. And moving forward and later on in her life, she would bathe in these pools with the sun up here. And with that sun shining in those pools is how she miraculously became impregnated with our famous hero twins. She is the mother of our infamous hero twins who brought peace to the land from monsters who were tormenting those people, our people. And because of that, she is forever remembered. On another note, she was also our first kinalda. And because of that, most of our kinalda, our young ladies' puberty ceremony, is why most of the songs and prayers within that ceremony are dedicated to her. Because when you become a young lady, there's no in between. One day you're a girl, the next day after that puberty, you are a woman. There's just no in between. It's instant. And that's because of her. And so moving forward with that, our songs at the Kinalda are dedicated to her. And part of those songs, those lyrics translate to how she presents herself. When you wear your rings, and your bracelets, and your earrings, your necklace, your pin, you are a remembrance of that deity. So I would like to share that as a message for all our women out there watching, because as I said before, language loss and culture loss is a thing with our people. Not all of our women know this. So for those of you who are here and for those of you who are watching, carry yourselves in that way and know that no matter how small your earring is, your rings, you are in that way you are connected to our Yoskeyasa. In that way you are connected to your language and your culture already. And moving forward with that, another positive message to share with our women of all ages, our young girls who are watching, some of my students hopefully, and then also our single mothers, our young ladies going to school, and our grandmothers who came before us who have already raised all of us. Yeah, for all that you do. And moving forward with that, going back to our Kinalda and how that portrays us young ladies, is that during those 4 days, you are tested spiritually, mentally, and physically. On that last day, after you stay up all night with your people, singing songs for a beautiful life, you are tired, you haven't showered, and you're in all these layers. But guess what? As soon as that song, as soon as you're ready to go, you run out that Hogan door and you run your hardest and your longest. And that's something that I always carry with me from my kinalta. When I'm facing challenges and when I'm facing turmoil or things of that nature, I think back to that and I think, okay, I gotta run my hardest and I gotta run my longest. And because of those teachings from Yolkeasa and how I present myself, I already know that I have that in me and that I'm able to conduct myself in that way and take on challenges in a strong manner and a very beautiful manner. And I hope that that message translates to all our women out there today.
Well done, Johnny. Thank you. Round of applause again, ladies and gentlemen. You may be excused. The Yindine Yahol Nestle is son Arjibichatet age. We will do a little 3.5 minute entertainment video sound.
Hensi se go ye dang ashma sa ne ya behna ishkat go ho ne manga se ya biye pista se ke go dag et ya behna sha go shit ya has ke Shia jene hil sang ne ho joko nana do shitsu hui shema sane ashle shema sane ashle hoya hey yanga nashko hina hasto adon keje in sing se eta hot ichitsu shema sane ashle shema sane ashle hoya hey yanga neyo hoya hey yanga tat dinen de sto bena jay sayin hato na bihin ahasto bena jay ayo ne je hola to na yang to shitsu shema sana ashle shema sana ashle hoya hey yanga neyo hoya hey yanga tihin ayo nini biagent nalaje ikala bike nanga shitsu shema sana ashle shema sana ashle hoya hey yanga beinan stin ge hashla beyone shia shema sana ashle shema sana ashle hoya hey yanga ayonin schnee beni nanga ande schnee shitsu shema sana ashle shema sana Ashley, Hawaii, hey, young Aneo, Hawaii, hey, young Aneo, Hawaii, hey, young. Hawaii.
Mic check, mic check. It's hosh hot. I think she finished singing here. I'd like to acknowledge some sponsors here that sponsored to our Navajo Nation Miss Navajo office here. Pageant sponsors, the Office of President and Vice President, Office of First and Second Lady, Office of Speaker, Speaker Seth Damon, Navajo Nation Fair Office, Navajo Transitional Energy Company, Navajo Oil and Gas Company, Navajo Engineering Construction Authority, Sacred Winds Communication, Navajo Nation Shopping Center Incorporated, Navajo Youth Advisory Council, Navajo Tribal Utility Authority, Choice Wireless, Navajo Parks and Recreation Department, Navajo Forestry Department, Building Nations, Subways, Sabinito Store, Navajo Spirit Southwestern Wear, the Net Protection Agency, the Net Protection Services, Navajo Agricultural Product Industry, Cellular One, Navajo Police Training Academy, Department of Law Enforcement, Luna, United Native American of Nokia, Wolford and Winifred Jumbo and Family, Caleb Begay and Family, Shiprock, New Mexico. They are proud sponsors of this Miss Navajo pageant. I'd like to acknowledge our second lady here, Dottie Lizer. If you can wave. I believe we have a microphone set up. If you can share little words with us, right over to my left on the side here.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? It's good to see your smiling faces here, and just proud to be here on the very last day of the competition to see these girls and how they've grown up so much in this last week, and to the parents and the grandparents for bringing up your kids, your daughters, your granddaughters, and your teachings to them. They've come so far, and I know they've gone through a lot emotionally, spiritually, physically, and financially. I know there's a lot of help from the parents, the grandparents, so a hat to them. Thank you so much for bringing them this far. And now we just look forward to tomorrow, right? We look forward to the coronation and, who's going to be crowned our new Miss Navajo. So we look forward to that. And She'e Dottie Lizer Yinisha Kia Ani Nishla Maidishkijni Bashichin, but Atni Dashiche, Tachkitni Dashanella. And I just want to quickly introduce my sisters I brought along with me today. And I've got my sister Michelle here. If you can just wave your hand and say hello. And then my other sister, Monica. So they are just, to support and to be here and to enjoy. I don't think they've ever come to a Miss Navajo pageant. We were just kind of reminiscing. And so thank you, each one of you, for coming out today and supporting these girls. I know I shouldn't call them girls, they're women. They're women in their own right. And I'm just so proud of them, and to get to know each one of them and just to see them blossom this week. You know, how many of you went to the TI concert? Yeah, a few of you out there. We had so much fun, and there was a time that the girls came out, and they were just so excited, and I said, I didn't see you dancing, and they were laughing. Yeah, I did. I was dancing. Didn't you see me? So I'm just so proud of these girls and what they've gone through and what they've learned and what they're going to become, whether they're Miss Navajo, first runner-up, second runner-up, what they're going to become from here on, because they're going to carry what they've learned and what they've taken this week with them forward as they go back into school, as they start their families, you know. And so again, we just thank you to the parents and the grandparents for all that you did. You know, I know it's a lot financially to, you know, just to have to pay for the outfits and, you know, what you've gone through to get her this far. So thank you so much. Appreciate your time, and it's really good to see every one of you here. There's a lot of people here, at, you know, showing their support. So thank you for that. If you had, thank you.
Okay. Miss Second Lady, Dottie Lizer, and then our Vice President also, Myron Lizer. It's always good to see him when I have the privilege to be Master of Ceremony. He shakes my hand, and I know he's my Vice President, and he probably doesn't know me. This is my mentality, but he knows me. So we have that connection. He gives out good energy. And then for him being our Vice President this far, he's doing a good job, outstanding job. I wish him the best. I wish both of you the best, you and your family. Your sisters there, beautiful young ladies. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being our sponsor here, looking after our young ladies here and representing our young ladies also. So we're almost concluding with all this morning's event here. We did our contemporary skills, contemporary talent, contemporary platform. We're going in stages, and we are ready. Contestant number 1, Valentina Kutso. Please make your way up to the stage. Yeah.
Oh, nana she Valentina Klitso Yenishye, Torich in Schlimpet Ahni Bashish Chin, Tor Hane Dashe, Ashihan Dashinale. Okay. So at a young age, I realized how powerful our language is. Hearing words like shiaje, shewe, these words are powerful. The warmth in these words are like no other. So that's what I want for our youth and for the generations here today and for the generations after. I want them to feel the love of the language, hear the love of the language. So it is said that the Ndene'e, they gifted us this language, the Nebazad. So I strongly believe every single one of us is capable of learning our language, because we are our language, we are the embodiment of our language. So I say that the language is dormant within each and every one of us, and we need to just awaken that language within us. And our people are educated and our people are strong, and we need to remind ourselves of that, and we are definitely capable of learning our language. So I say to our elders, have faith in our youth. Have faith that they will continue our culture. Have faith that they will continue our language, because we can. And to our youth, I say value our culture, value our language, because you are next in line to carry on these teachings to our next generation. So for my projects for this year, I will be focusing on bridging our youth and elders. Thank
you. Contestant number 2, Gypsy Pete, please make your way to the stage.
Hello again, everyone. I am of the Red House clan, born first out of the Red Street clan. My maternal grandfathers are of the Within His Covers clan, and my paternal grandfathers are of the Coyote Pass clan. If I'm selected as the 70th Miss Navajo Nation, my platform for the reigning year will be to discuss and educate discuss with our Navajo people about situational awareness and mental health, specifically physical health, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health. There is a rapid increase of missing and murdered Indigenous women, men, and children on the Navajo Nation, but also in Indian country. Therefore, it is important to always ensure your family members who you are with, when you'll be coming home, and where you are at. There are many of our lost loved ones who have not yet returned home and which we are still searching for. Therefore, it is important to take care of yourself. Remember to put yourself first because your life is precious. In the beginning of 2022, we've had the COVID-19 pandemic, and we quickly learned that this pandemic took away our loved ones. Am I right? We lost our dear family members. Therefore, it is important to know that your life is precious. For all of you watching online, your life is precious. My life is precious. So therefore, we need to take care of each other, to look out for one another, because this life is once in a lifetime, just like running for Miss Navajo Nation. Thank you.
Contestant number 3, Brianna Davis. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead.
Okay, so for my platform, my platform is based on revitalization. Means the relations with every living thing, including ourselves, our families, our communities, our nation, as well as the environment. And with my platform, I want to be able to promote those positive relations and model those positive relations for our youth and all ages welcoming. To further that, I would like to implement more educational perspective to this role, because it is a role of educating. You're educating our people, and that's how I want to go about with promoting the revitalization and interconnecting, not just addressing one age population within our people, but connecting them, taking our children to field trips to the senior centers where they can interact, where they can help one another, because both of them balance, and in that way, balance, Hajon, and is promoted. That is my platform.
Good job. Okay. Go ahead and I'd like to introduce our 2019-2021. She served 2 years, reigning Miss Navajo, Miss Shandine Paul Parrish. Can you step out? All right. 2 years she's been reigning, and last year she gave out her crown to Niagara here. So I give a lot of good credits and a lot of power to her. We concluded with our contemporary platform. So I'd like to give the floor to Ms. Parrish over here.
Larry, Adel, Shik Amma, Amma Sana Anala Danosaniki, Adel, Donald so, she kia ani adona initially go do bashishtin. It's quite a cheat ni a dash a che, it's go baha a dash anella, got aston initially. Ado she Shandine parish initiate, Ado Navajo but eken, initially in Ado Twitter dan nasha, not as on dan do denahota dan chishiket, Ado a hit do by Hinson, Dinja a bashel hojo do sheliat. Good afternoon, or good morning, everyone. My name is Shandine Parrish, and thank you, Larry, for the introduction. I'm backstage helping the contestants and helping the Office of Miss Navajo Nation. I currently work for the executive branch, so I'm at work right now, but it's an honor to be recognized today. I want to especially give a huge thank you and word of appreciation to the parents of our contestants. I know that you all have been following your young ladies all week, and I want you to know that they are a team back there and that they support one another, and that's what we want to see among our young women and also our women across the Navajo Nation. I think that it's important to continue to encourage one another to pursue their dreams, to pursue whatever they set their minds to. And today, I just wanted to say thank you so much for giving me a little time to speak. As we close out today's competition, this morning we had contemporary skill, contemporary talent, and they had their oral presentation, and they also had an impromptu question. This afternoon at 1 p.m., we will also have the same agenda, but it's the traditional category. So that is one of my favorite categories because we get to learn a lot about our culture. But today, it's incredibly humbling to help our current Miss Navajo Nation, Niagara Rockbridge. This past year, I've been able to watch her grow, and like she mentioned earlier, that the crown was created out of the purpose of rejuvenating the Office of Miss Navajo Nation, and Miss Niagara Rockbridge has done a wonderful job this past year in representing that rejuvenation. We worked together in the office to create a new crown that signified that, and I think that Niagara did a wonderful job representing that. Thank you to her family, thank you to her parents, to her community for uplifting her and supporting her this past year. It's, the time that you have as Miss Navajo Nation, it's a short period of time, but you do as much as you can to share the love and admiration you have for our people. The way that Niagara has been able to be Miss Navajo, I hope, is an inspiration for many young women to come. And for our contestants today, I hope that their bravery is also a testament of their families and their strength and our culture continuing. So thank you to everyone that's joining us online, and thank you to our MC, Larry Jackson. We worked together when I was Miss Navajo and he was at NTUA, so it's good to have him back, and it's good to have a great community and support system for this year's 70th annual Miss Navajo Nation pageant. We look forward to seeing you this afternoon at 1 p.m. right here in the Winderock Sports Center. Ahiyahet.
Ila keha Shandine Parrish yat on ginan in la so nagede ado ikitn dashil nisalido. We did a lot of things when I was with NTUA, building the structures out there, and then her appearance was very significant. Vaccine khaleho, penapin aho khaleho, load khadi khaisali ako, akhasti ko yen hallo, at sha khat eda khatnile apahat zekna hallo hat hila yi yasha khatnini ita, but we were out there for our people, for you guys. Shabakina Katim, Shandine Parrish did an outstanding job. Hinan Kwasan Haniyala, Asian Bishmasa Ane, Navajo Nation Council Delegate Nathaniel Browns, Ade Easy. Lead. Thank you for bringing my Yosachi. Shananta Yat Edo Hehe. Ado Egut Ela Ko Kwan Giliana or Kaila Kwan the Nabich a can't do Nabahobich a can't quite get a he shall be kidda cut here. We like to acknowledge all of them, contestant 1, 2, and 3. Juno Yeda Ido and Juno Yeda Ila Hunza Holzers. Yaha Yehosh Agito Boho Aki. What they learn, what they have instilled in their mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and they're presenting here. And they're here with us, and they're in good enthusiasm also. They're in good spirits, and they behind the curtains, you know, they're wonderful young ladies, and I just like acknowledge their parents and their grandparents and their family that supporting them out there. Social media. I'd like to thank you for viewing out there, and then also witnessing all the skills and the temporary everything that goes on the event to becoming Miss Navajo. We acknowledge all of you out there, and the ladies are up here for photos. We're going to conclude with this event here this morning, and then we have our traditional talent this afternoon, 1 o'clock. I'd like to acknowledge to say thank you to our judges. Our judges, Aaron Benali, Denise Homer, Rodina Jordan DeHosey. Thank you for your work here. Photos are here, and then you may be excused. 1 o'clock.